I'm Lynn Hughes-Williams and I'm your host today for YYFM. Today we're talking about living with long-term health conditions, and joining me is someone who's helped countless people across Wales to do just that. Jules.Godden from EPP Cymru. Jules, it's lovely to have you with us.
Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome. So for those who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and the work that you do with EPP Cymru.
Okay, so a little bit about myself. My background was a patient. I didn't come into my role through any form of academia. I came in as a patient that had gone through quite considerable chemotherapy and ended up with damaged bones, breaking my back, ending up in a wheelchair and suffering from depression. I actually went on a course, an EPP course, to support my own health. And it was whilst I was on that course that I suddenly went, wow, it was like I found myself almost. My doctors kept saying to me, I don't know how you keep going, and I don't know why, or I don't know how. But when I went on that course, it felt like that was the reason. That I'd found something that I was just so passionate about, and I was able to use my experiences to help other people. So I trained to become a tutor, and I was a tutor as a volunteer for 6 years before becoming a coordinator in an Iron Bevan, and then moving on to my role, which I'm in now as part of the national team. So why do I do it? Because of that story, basically. It changed my life, and if it can help someone like me who didn't want the help, then I know that what we do is a great thing, and that's why I do this job, really.
I know that you've worked with people living with conditions like long COVID, for example, or type 2 diabetes. So what's the heart of these programs?
So to me, the heart of the program is a mixture of things. It's one about the learning that you can take by being part of it and experiencing the different elements of the course. But there's also that peer support as well. All the courses are delivered by people that live with those conditions. So whether it's a cancer course, a carers course, dementia course, long COVID, as you mentioned, the people that are delivering those are people that live with that condition. And that just makes such a difference. You've got that peer element that you know that those people understand exactly what you're going through, as well as the people that are on the courses. And also the courses are designed to have something for everybody. They're very short little segments at 2.5-hour sessions, but within that you'll have 6 or 7 different subjects. So when you go on that course, there's something that you're going to take away from that. And I find that that's key. I've been on courses myself, on other courses, and it's a whole session on just one subject. And if that doesn't apply to you, then that's not helpful. So having these little segments all the way through, you'll find something for you.
Right, so sort of little bite size, and
Yes.
it probably sticks in your mind that little bit more, as you say, what you can relate to, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, every session is followed up with resources that you've got to take home. There's a workbook which you can use. You can even do Agorad credits for learning whilst on the course.
Yeah.
So not only do you do the course, you've got the opportunity to get those learning credits, and you've got the opportunity to have that workbook to reflect on when you finished.
Yes, yeah, because it's difficult, isn't it, retaining all of that information. So going home with something is really useful to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you turning your attention to now? Is it osteoporosis, I believe?
Yes, it is osteoporosis. We work in my role now. We work to health board. The health boards will get in touch with us and ask us if we can support them. On my first day in my new job, which was 2 years ago this October, my first meeting was with the MS Society, and I sat down with them and wrote a course for MS. Following that, I was approached to do something for people living with lymphedema, which we did. And then earlier this year, Dr. Inder Singh contacted me and said that he'd heard about the work that I'd done, and would I be interested in supporting him to develop something to help people with osteoporosis. Then he said, did I know anything about it? Which was kind of funny, really, because I was diagnosed when I was 30 with osteopenia, and now I'm in my in my early 50s. I do have full-blown osteoporosis, and also now I'm a patient of his. So I had quite a passion about this because I know how it feels to have the condition, and I also know what those fears are like. So being able to be involved in working with somebody of Dr. Singh's caliber and also be able to use my experiences as well to support others was kind of a no-brainer, really. It was a very easy decision to make.
Yes, well, he has been the driving force, isn't he, behind bone health in Wales and
Yeah.
raising awareness about it. And he's had great government backing as well, hasn't he?
Yes, absolutely.
So, how are you working with Dr. Singh then? What are you looking to do?
So initially we met with Dr. Singh. We showed him the material that we had, our foundation course, if you like, our Living with Chronic Health Conditions course. Covers so many topics and has so much in it that would support patients naturally living with osteoporosis. That what we wanted to do was look at the manual and look at how we might make some adjustments in order for it to be very specific towards people living with osteoporosis. So looking at diet and the types of foods that could support us with our bones and good bone health, looking at falls and how we might manage that, and also looking at that anxiety and those fears around falls is quite key. Also included within the course, we have Dr. Singh himself actually delivering 2 sessions. He's going to be delivering a session at the very beginning, looking at what osteoporosis is, looking at going through a case study and which explains to patients quite clearly how their journey starts from this is a diagnosis to how it could end up, and also what treatments were given and how the support was given in order to help this person in the case study to improve their quality of life and also then improve their bone health, which obviously results in less fractures and less pressures on the NHS. So we're looking at that, and then also what we're going to be doing on the last week is we're going to be looking at what services are available for people with osteoporosis, how they can get that help, what treatments are available. And also throughout the 6 weeks, we will encourage patients each week to write down any questions, and then we can put those to Dr. Singh at the very end. And he's kindly agreed to answer all of them. So hopefully from day 1 to day 6, not only will they learn an awful lot about the self-management that's needed to, continue to enjoy their everyday lives, but they'll also would have learned an awful lot about the condition and about its management through a clinician, which isn't, let's be fair, it's not easy to get a clinician appointment. So it's really nice that he's taking this time to put the work in with us, to work together to be able to generate this program, which is going to be really rounded.
Yes. So when do you think the program is going to start? When's the planned dates?
Okay, so we have 2 planned dates. We are starting on Wednesday, the 29th of August, 29th of August, and we're running that from YYF, and we're working in seminar rooms upstairs. And that will be 2.5-hour sessions starting at 1:45, finishing at 4:15 for 6 weeks. Whilst being in the hospital, I go in as a patient, but I go in there with my flyers and I talk to patients and I let them know about what I'm going through and telling them about the courses. I've noticed that a lot of people, especially older people, need hospital transport, and they've been struggling to be able to come into the hospital, and they've said that there's no way they would be able to get hospital transport to do a course. Right. So could we put something online?
Yeah.
So we have now confirmed a date of the 17th of October at 10:30, and we're going to be running the same course online, exactly the same as we would in the community. The only difference is, sadly, we can't get together for a cuppa in the middle. But apart from that, it'll be exactly the same course. Dr. Singh will be present on, again, the 2 sessions.
Yeah.
So we're able then to cater for an awful lot of people. And some people also are working, so they can't take that whole time to be able to travel and get to the hospital off, but are able to actually attend on a virtual course. So we're looking forward to running that as a first pilot as well.
So if they're interested in either or, being in person or online,
Yeah.
how best to register? Can they register their interest now?
Yes, absolutely. They can register from now. I know we're going to put my details up, so we can either, there's a QR code which takes you straight through to a booking form, or you can just email me directly and then I'll give you a ring and we can have a little chat, tell you about the course and give you the best options, which one's going to work best for you, and I can book you on directly. So it's quite straightforward.
Yes, easily done then. That's great. So for someone who has been diagnosed with osteoporosis and maybe they're feeling overwhelmed, what's the one piece of advice you want them to hear today?
Don't internalize it, don't worry about it, don't take it on your own self. There are an awful lot of people living with osteoporosis and living well with that condition. Look for help. Get in touch with the Royal Osteoporosis Society. They have huge amounts of information on there. Reach out when you're in clinic, tell them that you want support. They'll be able to direct you straight to us. I think we've plastered most of the hospital with posters. So pretty much anywhere you go, if you see a purple poster, just scan that QR code and reach out. Even if it's because you don't want to go on a course, but you just want to have a chat with somebody. Many of the people that are coming through to join this first course that we're doing are people that I've met in clinic. The majority of people that I meet in clinic have just been diagnosed and they're just starting new treatment programs. As I am myself, I start my new medication of daily injections in 2 weeks' time. And most of the people that I've met through being at clinic are on that same journey. So it's going to be as much as a course as it is about peer support and looking out to see how we're all getting on with the new medications, and that wouldn't happen unless we actually talked. So when you're in the waiting room and you're worried, sit and chat to the person next to you, because undoubtedly they're going through the same thing, and it's surprising how much support you can get from just talking to somebody.
Yes, I think because you can feel quite isolated, can't you, when you have a chronic illness? And I think when you've spoken to someone, you realize they are going through the same thing, experiencing, as you say, the same worries, the same fears. Can make all the difference.
Absolutely. And I've spoken to people that people didn't expect me to be somebody that was going on the same pathway because of my age. And it's so important that we get rid of some of these myths about it's an only older woman disease. Men get it, younger people get it, like myself. People have been on a lot of medication, like with myself with chemotherapy, can have this. People that have had all sorts of other health conditions and lifestyle, different lifestyle experiences can get osteoporosis. And it's really important that, yes, it's happened, but there are things that we can do. All these myths about once you've got it, that's it, you can't do anything about it, you can't reverse it, you can't support it. These are myths, and they've been around for too long now. And it's really important that we can start to change that.
Yeah, so that's one of your objectives, to bust the myth.
Bust the myths, absolutely, yes.
And I guess you're living proof, aren't you, that you can work, you can live a life, and cope with with the chronic condition.
Absolutely. The day I broke my back was probably one of the days that my life started again. When I broke my back in 2008, which was a bad break, I ended up in hospital for quite a long time. It was 2008, and it was the Paralympics. And I was just led. I couldn't have surgery. I was just in a brace and I was just led in hospital. My dad put a TV up high, one of the, tell how long ago, it was Freeview. And it was, he put it up in the hospital ward. It's on a side room in Chepstow, and they put it up really high so that I could see it, because obviously when you're led flat, you can't see anything in front of you. So they put it up high, and the Paralympics were on. And I went from a complete, utterly depressed, thinking that I had no life left, to looking at that and thinking, well, actually, if they can do that, so can I. And it was actually watching Paralympics that kind of saved me, I guess, in some respects. Not knowing how to get there, but certainly having a dream again and having some ambition, and realizing that just because, you know, something's gone wrong, it doesn't mean you have to stop, you know. And don't get me wrong, yes, I have pain pretty much every day, but I also know that the more I don't do something, the worse that's going to get. So being able to keep going and know how to keep going, and I've only learned that through doing the course, has been key, really.
Your story is really inspiring, as we've just said. Do you know of any other inspiring stories where people learn to live with this?
Yes, absolutely. As a coordinator, I used to speak to every single person that ever started a course. It didn't matter which course. We could, at one point, we were doing over 100 courses a year, especially in COVID, and that's just an Iron Bevan. And if you think that they're all 6 weeks, that's quite a lot of courses and a lot of people to speak to.
Yeah.
But I spoke to one person. There was two that stand out in my mind from all the years. One was an elderly guy who said that he shouldn't need to go on a course. He wanted to go on a course, but he didn't think he could because he wasn't ill. He was just lonely. And he was lonely because he was very old and everyone was dying and he wasn't. And he was frightened of making friends with other people. He came on a course and that changed his life. But we also had another person that came on a course who after told me that the course saved her life because she was prepared to take her life because she couldn't cope with the depression from the condition caused by the conditions that she was living with. And it was a last resort. And not only did she complete the course, she trained to become a tutor with me back in 2021. And when I moved to my new role, she actually became a coordinator and has now taken over. The problem is fully employed, working with EPP, you know, and that's what these courses can do. Everybody that's employed has come through because of the courses.
Yeah. Oh, that's really powerful. Well, Jules, it's been inspiring hearing about your work. And if people wanted to find out more about the program, where should they go?
Okay, so there's a number of ways you can. If you're anywhere near the hospital, pretty much, I think every lift is plastered with a poster. It's got the dates and the times of the courses and QR code. We're also going to share that QR code with you so that you can go straight to the website, find out more about EPP. But there is a specific area there for you for the osteoporosis courses. We'll also share my email address. So if you know you like it kind of the old-fashioned way like I do, just drop me a line. And if you want to, leave your phone number and I'll give you a ring back. We can have a chat, talk to you about the course, see what's going to work for you. Or if maybe there's other courses that might be something that you might be interested in. But we can have a look and we can have a chat and I can help you with that.
That's great. Thanks, Jules.